Got a mug.
What up?
Good evening, one and all, on this beautiful second Sunday of the year. Because we had New Year's just 2 weeks ago, and it's not already halfway through February, because that is just impossible with how time works. Welcome to this new episode of A Tale of Dice, where we will continue our adventures of the pack as our plot lines are turning from venturing forth onto Defay and going towards the more, well, shadowy inclined Court of Shadows with our new Darkling friend Zell. But not before we have some problems to take care of right now. So hell yeah, I hope everybody had a good week. We have one announcement, and that is that Crystal now has stars shining behind her. She has upgraded her lighting, and now she has all kinds of stars sparkling around. And we also have a new feature. Max, take it away.
There's dice. I'm rolling them
There's
in the screen, and it's
Yeah.
cool, and I like it. And I love these. And then there's a 19.
Also,
Woo!
Nidico made Crystal hungry.
Yeah,
I know,
Crystal,
and
you
I am
don't-
hungry.
You don't get any food. You
Damn
need
it.
to be hungry right now.
Damn
Diego,
it!
thank you for joining us once again. So yeah, we are upgrading every day. Well, not every day. Like every stream, we want to add a little something. Once again, our Wild Magic Surge is up and running. So you can donate more points to that beautifulness to see if some stupid shit happens during the stream. And of course, you can use your llama points to just do other wacky shit while we are having our adventure, like different ghost sounds and ghost images as illusions to, we'll add things to the story that is unfolding before all of you. So, without further ado, let's start said story with one question that I've been asking since time immemorial. Shall we play a game?
And we're back.
And every time I ask this question, I need to make a silly face, like very serious, but not really serious because it's over the top. So,
That's what we call a semi-serious face.
semi-serious. There we go. So, last we left off, our heroes, after conversing with the Dawn of Summer, the group of Fae that were here to drive back the invasion of Darklings, talking with them about the deal of the Darklings, why they are actually doing what they are doing, why they are trying here to conquer a place in the light, and why that all of the darkness that they bring with them is nothing more but a means to an end, a dark power that they need to embrace to be able to walk in the light once more and survive, a darkness they need to embrace to hold the power in their hands to fight for the very land they so eagerly crave. And with that, our heroes came at an impasse. Not wanting to brand these Darklings as mere foes, seeing in them a, well, extremist, but at least understandable cause, but also realizing that the Dawn of Summer, the Fae that are here to protect the realm from them, aren't easily persuaded, and can't just go back on the curse that they instilled on the Darklings so long ago. A grudge held by Fae is indeed a very powerful thing. So right now, our heroes have parted ways with the Dawn of Summer and the Fae, on shaky terms, to say the least, as they are now at least a little bit siding with, quote-unquote, the enemy. But not without at least making one friend. The leader of the Dawn of Summer, Dimitra Longshot, did see in all of your eyes the will to bring about a peaceful resolution. And while she does not believe that it is so easily procured as you yourselves believe, she did send you on your way with a little bit of hope, and as much of her blessing as she could give. So now, the pack is venturing forward to a new destination. Somewhere far to the east lay a vast timberlands inhabited by humans called the Archwood, where somewhere on its shadowy counterpart, the Court of Shadows, could be found. Together with their newfound friend, Zell, one of the very Darklings that they, until shortly, combated, they are traveling there to seek an audience with the members of the Court of Shadow and find some way of ending this conflict peacefully. However, the road itself is full of treacherous ordeals indeed. As during the first day of travel, Iroh keeping a lookout, but not that good a lookout, our heroes stumbled upon somewhat of an ambush. As they stepped across the road further eastward, a couple of men emerged from the bushes, talking about a Lord Farclaw, a nobleman who Iroh and Grukal impersonated, or at least they impersonated members of his posse, if you will, and in so doing convinced an entire township of marching out their entire guard as a show of strength, a very dangerous and very, illegal thing to do. So as Iroh on the lookout wasn't really having a good lookout, you stumbled across this group of men, and now that you are stopped in your tracks as 3 men block your road forward, you look to your left and you see 3 more, and you look to your right and from the bushes 3 more appear. 9 in total, as one of the men standing in front of you, all with crossbows at the ready, bolts already loaded, not pointing them directly in your direction, but like pointing them slightly downward in your direction so that they can like put them up in a moment's notice. The man in front gets one hand off his crossbow, gets a piece of paper out, and he says, chewing on some sort of tobacco, "Yeah, that looks as them, all right. Why, crumbling up the paper and putting it back, why don't you make this all nice and easy?" And gets out a bunch of manacles, throw them at your feet, Iroh, and just put those on there. And come along quietly, there's quite a dime riding on your heads. The rest of you can go, but these 2, pointing at Grukal and Iroh, these 2 are coming with us.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you? Who are you? And why should I shackle myself for you?
Oh, we are nothing more than a group of men trying to make their way out in the world, adding some, coin to our purses by a service to the Empire itself. The Office of Aid has laid out a warrant for impersonators of royalty, namely the likes of you, Iroh Sifspa, and we never did catch the other name of the big fellow over there.
Grukal starts huffing loudly.
I believe
Oh, now. And from all the sides, different crossbows are pointing upward.
I believe you've got the wrong person. My name is Iroh Dornbeak.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Safe.
In the meantime, Grukal looks at the cuffs and seems to grow ever angrier.
Yeah. Grukal, not a fan of slavery.
That's a 30.
A 30. All right. So, okay. The one man looks at you a little bit, gets out a piece of paper once again, looks at it, looks at you, looks at it, looks at you. Now you here are trying to tell me that you are not this individual?
Well, I do look like it, I have to say, but it's not me. I don't know why they would be after. I mean, we weren't even here, to be honest. We were, and this is gonna sound even weirder, we were in the Shadowfell.
Like one of the other men standing next to him. What's a Shadowfell?
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. I figured it wouldn't say much, but It's also a bit generalizing to say that all halflings look the same, isn't it?
Lou, the other one like bumps at him with his elbow. Lou, this guy is trying to play tricks on your mind, Lou. Is the guy all right? Didn't the people tell us that they were traveling with 2 elves as well? And like, you can tell me a lot, but that's a panther right there, and they had a pet panther. How many people do you know with pet panthers?
That's just a kitty cat.
Well, it's a big fucking cattle, right?
But
No.
what did this character do?
I think you are nothing more than a lying piece of shit right there. You even have the same first name. Do you think we're stupid or something?
How do you spell Iro?
Well, get out a piece of paper again. I-R-O. It's back.
Well, they got you there.
Well, I didn't get it right because I said a different first name. I spelled it out E-I-R-O-H. That's not what I say to the men, by the way. But even so, my name is Iro with an H at the end. You're looking for a totally different person who has the same first name and looks a bit like me. But that does not hold up in court, is it?
Go ahead and make another deception check.
Allison is looking at this like, what the fuck is going on?
That's a 32.
Right,
32.
We didn't tell you guys how this happened, did we?
Well,
No,
not exactly, no.
No, we only told them that it got the end, but not how.
Oh my god.
Look, this is all starting to hurt my mind a little bit, but we have a job to do, and we traveled. We have been searching for your lot for a week now.
Well,
Now, if you say...
Not long for the Cracked Hills, is it?
Well, I don't know about that, but look...
You barely searched, and now you speak to the first halfling that you find?
Well, no, there was this other fella that we also found, but just...
Well,
shut
maybe
up! I'm the one talking here!
Maybe it was the other fellow.
Shut! Do you want a boulder your ass?
Well, most definitely not.
Well then. Look, you're trying to do me confused, aren't you? So,
no.
Now this is going. You look way the same. What?
Will be silent. You shall not cuff us. I shall eat your heart while you are still alive.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Oh god.
My intimidate is 16. And I rolled a 10, so that's 26.
26. Like one of the other men, like, shimmies a little bit uncomfortably. Like, well...
Look, we are 3 people just traveling through these lands. And I am not in the mood to get captured by some people, by some bounty hunters on a hunch. Because I look like someone.
Well, but that's how this job works. We've had a lot of people who say they're not who we're looking for, and that's just how... Look.
How much do they pay you?
Well, 200 gold for each one of y'all.
200.
Yeah, that's...
Iro, what is... twice that?
400.
One of the other ones, like, triumphantly, they said, that's true, it's 400. It's 400.
You, 9, will be given 400 gold. To fight us. To fight me. Grakal, unique. Slayer of the Maddox. Champion of Kuranau. I have killed hundreds stronger than you. 400 gold. Is it worth your lives?
Go ahead and make another intimidation check.
13, so 29.
29. a little bit more uncomfortable shimmying as like one of the guys standing to the left of you actually like slips his bow a little bit and its bolt falls off of it and he goes like, oh shit, and he needs to like get it up and like
As soon as
cock it
it's
back.
on the ground, Gurkal charges. He's too on edge. I would say
Okay.
Gurkal charges as soon as it hits the ground.
All right,
Pyro
so
yells, no!
all right, so in that case, we are going to the battle map and we are gonna go into initiative order. So
Charlie
I'm
just
sorry,
wanted blood.
guys. But
no,
also,
that's okay. It's okay.
also, we're this close to leveling up, so, you know.
We're not getting used this to level up.
Okay, so turning to the battle map. Hannah, as Gurkal is like taking his first step forward, you can see that all of the crossbows from all the different sides are going like, oh hell shit! All of them are going up and starting this combat encounter. But
So-
you were the
so-
one, you were so on edge, you were at the ready.
Oh, I'm on edge. Wait, let me turn red.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but you can do whatever you want. But like this
no,
is
I'm red. It's fine.
this is like the Mexican standoff, and everybody is pulling their guns right now.
Uh-huh.
The way that Gurkal is pulling his gun is that he runs off and charges.
Great.
And also, might I add that
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them has an unloaded crossbow.
Yeah, indeed. One of them indeed has an unloaded crossbow.
So one more thing,
Everybody gets intimidated. Oh no, wait, just one person.
just
right?
one person. So that's going to be, I don't know, let's go with the guy up front over here.
Yeah, that would
Most
be Lou.
obvious target.
Very well. So go ahead and roll an intimidation check against that fellow.
That would be Lou.
That would be Lou.
Oh, nice. That's a 14. Against,
Yeah.
so 30 against his will DC.
Oh, against his will DC, that's going to be normal success, not a critical success.
Ah, bummer. Okay, he's frightened 1.
Yeah,
so-
he is indeed. He is indeed.
Nice. -1 to AC, guys. Let's kill him.
All right, so
Poor guys. Yeah.
you're up first. You see slow motion, all of the crossbows pew, coming up. A fight is broken loose. What do you do?
I cast Solid Fog.
Oh,
So I need an area of 20 foot.
all right. An area of 20 foot you will have. Okay, so those are 2 of your actions, I believe. So in the meantime,
Yeah.
you can think about what you want to do with your 3rd and final action. Look at you. Whoop. Oh, that's
Right.
super big. Just hold on a second while I turn this into a nice little thingy for all to enjoy. All right. 20 feet radius, you said?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we have. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yep, we do.
Very well. Okay, cool. So now you can move the fog wherever you want it.
Here.
All right. And with that, you unleash from your newfounded staff, which makes all of the spells cast through it just go a little bit smoother. And from the back, you can see Zell look at you using his old staff, and he's going like shaking his head. Like, God damn it. And a bead of magical energy shoots out and explodes into this dense fog cloud, obscuring the view of, well, all of those figures standing over there. As you can hear one of them shout, "Oh hell, I can't see shit! Oh, me neither!"
And also they can't really move. Well, it's difficult terrain.
Oh, it's
right now.
difficult terrain even.
Yeah.
Oh. You
It's
can already
solid
hear them
fog.
bumping into each
Yeah,
other. Like,
it's solid
"Oh, shit!
fog.
That's a good spell.
Like I'm swimming! Alright.
So that's the one thing. I wanted to ask, do all the other guys stand on higher ground?
Oh, yeah, so to give you an idea, the 3 to the top of the map are standing on different boulders. They like climbed out of the foliage and are standing on boulders. The path that you guys are walking is coming from the left to the top right. And there are 2 guys just emerging from the bushes down. And those guys are standing on the same level as you guys.
Okay, then I'm going to send off Melo to one of those guys. I'm going to give him an extra action so that he can move and
Alright.
bitey bite. Yes, bitey bite.
Oh fuck, that's more than just a little kitty!
So the bitey bite is 30.
Ooh, yeah, that hits. Normal hit though, normal hit.
These poor
Damn it.
bastards.
And that's 12 points of damage.
12 points of piercing damage to Bounty Hunter number 7.
Yes.
Alright. Very well.
I'm going to put it Melo here.
Okay, so Melo dashes through the bushes, and from the back you can hear like "Ah!" a screech from one of the guys as Melo sinks his teeth into him. Okay, that was your turn. Then we go to the first hunter, which is this guy who tries to stumble out of the fog and eventually gets there with one of his actions. And as he emerges, he goes "Ugh!" and just goes at it. Well, this one would go at you, Hannah, because you are just the one standing in front, and he doesn't really have like the tactical finesse to pick its targets right now. Which is going to go in at a 16 to hit.
These guys aren't even combat ready. Why are they doing this?
No, sorry. This is a 19 to hit. But still, I don't think that'll hit.
Nope.
All right. And with that, he reloads his crossbow and gets it up with his last action, and that's it. So after that, we go to Allison. What do?
Take my head, draw my blade, run up to the other side of Melo, and I will try to non-lethally take this guy down.
Very well.
Just backhand him, basically. Natural 18 for a 35.
35, and that's with the minus penalty for
33.
33, still a critical hit.
So that's a lot of damage. Let's see. This is a shit ton of damage.
I believe the correct term is a fuckload, but I will allow
Oh,
this.
I like that one too. That's great too. All right,
Yeah,
let's see.
like I understand like different sets of rules for different worlds you play in. You know, it gets a little bit
Makes
hazy.
sense. Makes sense.
Like the massive fog. Yeah.
51 points of damage.
All right, and just taking a short check.
Sorry,
51.
Yeah, 51.
Yeah.
Whack! As he slouches forward, unconscious onto the ground.
Can I still yell, "Don't kill him"?
Very well.
Melo be like nom 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 nom.
Melo just going at his throat like raw. All right. With that, however, we turn to another group of hunters. As this fella, let me just see. All right. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So he stumbles out this way, and eventually gets all up in Hannah's face, and then let's see here. All right. And then this fellow, same way. So he turns that way and also wanders out of the fog. And with that, we have... All right. And then this guy right over here on one of the boulders also has its turn. So they are just going to unleash a torrent of bolts at people. And the one walking up to you, Hannah, he just lets go of his crossbow and gets out a falchion and just goes in for a slice. So with that, let's do the slice first, which comes in at... Jesus, I'm rolling very, very low. Let's see. So that slice is going to be a total of... yada, yada, yada. 18 to hit. So that's going to miss, I think.
Yes, but I
Okay.
do feel attacked.
But you do feel attacked.
Yeah.
Because you are. Like, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
I
All right.
guess.
And then, let's see. One bolt is coming at you again, Hannah.
Okay.
This one coming in at a 27 to hit.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess.
I guess.
This time,
okay. Dealing a total of 13 points of damage. And then one bolt, reload, another bolt are loosed at you, Allison, as you just hit the one guy in the head very, very hard. So first one, coming in at a 32 to hit.
But I did tell people to not kill them.
Yeah, but you also smacked someone on the head, and he didn't like that.
It's a normal hit.
Normal hit, and the second one coming in at a 24 to hit.
I will use my reaction to uncanny dodge that one.
All right, so as the first bolt, you shout out, "Don't hit them," as one bolt sinks into your shoulder, and then you get out your senses a little bit better as the second bolt just barely misses your head.
So I tumble out of the way.
A total of only 8 points of damage, which I will add to you, bringing you down to 56.
Awesome. In the initiative tracker, I don't see myself, I don't see Iro, I don't see Grukal.
Really now?
Yeah, it's a roll 20 bug.
Okay.
You have to remove and re-add us. It's
okay. No worries. So Iro goes away and then comes back with a 23.
Yes.
Sorry, people. Just getting this out of the way. Allison. Allison was... Where is he? Are you 29?
29, yeah.
Yes. Alright, and Grackle over here.
Grackle.
12. And Grackle is back. Alright, so now let me just see at what point in initiative order we were. 26. Alright, so. And then next. Alright, yeah. And then the last one, Bounty Hunter number 5, standing right over here, is going to do the same thing and just unleash 2 bolts. These one are just going at you, Iro. You're standing in front of him, so he has like a nice little high ground to shoot you in the face. First one coming in at a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, and the second one is going to be 17 only to hit, so I think
that was not
misses. Alright, coming in at 14 points of piercing damage. 2 bolts are loosed in your general direction. After which, we are going to Zell, as he shouts out, well, can I at least try to break their spirits a little bit?
Sure!
Great. Hang tight. I haven't really tried this before. I think this might hurt. And I've never actually said this in common before. Cold of the Crescent King, envelop thee now. Voril, Akika! And with that, he casts Harm at a full 3 action burst. And with that, 30 feet emanates from him, getting... Let's see... Everybody but the one guy in the fog. So everybody can go ahead and make fortitude saving throws.
Including us?
Including all of you.
How many? Or just for one?
Everybody make 1 fortitude saving throw.
Asshole!
As he's doing what clerics are good for, and he is casting Harm in like the full emanation with 3 actions, which basically targets everything.
And he's not even... he doesn't have
32.
the feat to remove us. He doesn't have the feat to remove us.
He has other things. Like normally, like he heals the other members of the Court of Shadows with this Harm spell, so yeah.
Makes sense.
30.
So, 30? Normal success?
32, baby.
Normal success?
Bobby. What kind of save was it?
Fortitude.
26.
26, normal success.
33.
33, normal success. Alright, and Melo?
Oh shit!
Critical fail.
28.
28, alright. So, also normal success. So everybody takes 18 halved to 9 points of negative damage. As I say this, just bear with me a moment because I don't know if he adds his Yada yada yada. Yeah. Okay. So that I was correct. Yeah. All right. And let's see if the other guys made their saves. So there's going to be, oh dear, going to be a lot of saves. 8.
Dungeon Daddy versus Dungeon Daddy.
Yeah. We'll save. Save. All right. So. And that was 6. Alright, so.
I think this is the longest initiative counter we've had so far.
Yeah.
This one is really, really long.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Alright.
now I'm sorry I initiated combat.
It's gonna be okay. As this cloud of absolute death washes over everyone and everything, you can also see that the fear in everybody's eyes is apparent right now. And as the one guy in the fog is now having its turn, there was the only guy that was too far away from Zell. So as this cloud of death emanates, he's just shouting in the fog, "What the hell's going on over there? I can't see, gosh darn it!" And he... Okay, so he is going to move in a random direction, namely 1. So first he stumbles over this wooden log, and then gets out like all the way over here with his first action. Then with his second action, he's just going to go the same way. Then with his second action, he moves all the way over here. And then with his last action, he can finally get out and look around the fog to see what the hell is going on. That's all that he can do right now.
Worth it.
How much
Iroh.
damage did I take?
Oh, sorry. You took a total of 9 points of negative damage, bringing you down to 47.
My vampirism isn't taking effect yet, I assume then?
Not yet. Not yet. If you want to be a vampire right now and die and turn into a vampire spawn, I'll allow it.
Fair.
Ooh. Iroh's gonna do something new for him. And he's gonna do what is it called again? Oh yeah, de-escalation. So Iroh's not gonna fight at all. I'm gonna use 2 actions to go into Mountain Stance and Mountain Stronghold.
Okay.
And after that, I'm not gonna fight. I am only gonna yell, "Stop fighting, Grokal! No!" And that's it.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Sorry, a diplomacy check.
That's so
Persuasion is
sweet.
not- There we go.
He's trying.
25.
25. All right, so you shout this with all of the strength in your body as you quite literally put your foot down because you go into Mountain Stance and into Mountain Stronghold, and then from this small little halfling figure with like a very still finger and a very angry, evil eye, he goes, "Grokal, stop that! Everybody, stop fighting!" And with that bouldering tone, silence washes over the entire forest area for a moment as somewhere far away from a tree, like a flock of birds fly up. As let's see, the one unconscious is having its turn, and then the other one right over at the top over there, as he gets up a little bit, looks at like the shadow of death that has just been washed over him. He still hasn't put his bolt back on its crossbow, and he just stands there and he says, Lou, you wanna rethink about having maybe the wrong people here?" Ugh. As Lou is just standing there, like with his falchion out, pointing it towards Hannah. "Well, I don't know. Let's say we do have a little bit of a misunderstanding here. Would these fine lady and gentlemen allow us to leave?"
Most definitely. We are terribly sorry that we started this fight, and we are more than happy to let you leave.
Well then, you guys were heading that way, weren't you?
Yeah.
Then I Chic. I guess we will be heading over there.
Sounds good. I wish you the best of luck at finding this fellow, because, yeah, just best of luck.
Jeremy, pick up hand. Pick him up.
I take out a syringe and I stab it in his shoulder and make him basically jump up from the adrenaline shot.
Sweet mama! Well, did we win?
In a certain sense.
I tap him on the shoulder, bring him to his friends. I'm so sorry.
Likewise. Let me just, and he like scrouches over and picks up the manacles laying at your feet. Let me just get those back here.
One thing. Might you ever run into us again? Manacles. Our party does not like slavery. I would remember that.
We're just officers of the law, sir. That's all we were trying to be, at least. I apologize profusely.
I bid you a
You
good
know
day.
what the saddest thing is?
Come again?
Saddest thing about this is I did not get to you yet. Come back, and I will eat you.
Calm down. These fine gentlemen are going on their way.
Zell turns over your shoulder a little bit, Grokal, and he says, he's actually serious. He tried to eat me too, so... Yeah, we will be off now. Safe travels.
You too, sir.
Good day.
Get the fuck out of here! Get up! And they scurry off in a uproar.
You can see Hannah turning green. Like, have a nice trip!
This was the most random thing ever.
It was a random encounter, so yeah.
Grokal kind of turns towards Iroh. Sorry. Thought they shot.
It's okay. It can happen.
Good.
I look-
Yes.
I look at Cell. That magic may be helpful with your friends in the Court of Shadow. It hurts us as well. Be mindful of that.
I had what was it? 8 for the price of 3? It scared them away, didn't it?
Just be mindful.
Oh, it was a calculated risk.
Shall we
Yes,
continue?
Yeah, this went pretty okay, I think. I
But are
might
you
have
still
to do
hungry,
something about my face to not make me look like a halfling anymore, but for now it went pretty okay.
Very well. And with that, the rest of the travels of this day go over smoothly. Zell keeping out a wide berth of detect magic to make sure that no strange magical means are in the vicinity. Hannah, knowing these woods as well as anybody, being able to connect with the very nature that lives here, leads all of you forward. The mindful Grokal keeps a watchful eye, weapons at the ready, and Iroh is still looking around a little bit, just enjoying the view. This goes on for an hour or 3, approximately, before Allison, you hear a voice in your head. A familiar voice. A voice of a friend. Violora Moran, the Seeker at the Cerulean Circle, the widespread magical guild, if you will, spread across the entire empire, made to find, secure, and research all kinds of different magical artifacts. Magical artifacts such as the sword that is being carried on Grokal's back. Magical artifacts like the sword that you guys borrowed from this guild and were supposed to return. As she says, "Greetings, Allison. It has been some time since I heard of you. I was just checking. You do realize that the deadline for the return of the Midsummer Blade is coming fast upon you? We expected back within 3 days. I assume you are already traveling backward.
The location that we are heading right now is Bromilia, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like exactly the other direction, and it's probably because you're not right now already halfway there. It would be at least 5-6 days travel back to the place where you guys were supposed to hand back the sword.
Well, wait, just ask her to teleport.
Just
there,
wait.
You know, that's what they have.
Do you guys have an outpost in Bromilia? We are kind of forced to go there. Would be nice to hand over the weapon there.
A moment passes as she conjures some new form of magic to re-establish the sending spell. Oh dear, we do not, but as a seeker, it is my duty to go places to acquire these magical artifacts. I will be there. Will you be ready for your assignment from there? As you remember that you were supposed to return this item, and afterwards, as a sort of trade for allowing you to keep this item, do a job for the Cerulean Circle.
Oh yeah.
We will
Yeah.
need about a week, depending on how time flows in the Shadowfell.
It's safe.
Okay, so first off, what are your, like, I don't really understand this sentence, so let me just, as a Dungeon Daddy, check what the hell your plans are.
So basically, Allison's like, hey, we really first need to talk to the Court of Shadows before we can go in your quest.
Yeah, the Court of Shadows, like, if you would travel via land to the place where the Court of Shadows would be, like, if you were going to travel over the material plane, it is going to be, like, at least... it's like 2 more days to Bromilia.
Mhm.
Then from there, you would... you know what? As you begin to think this over, go ahead and make me a society check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. So, the most direct route... I'm just gonna, like, lore dump a little bit on you. The most direct route towards the Archwoods would be to first head over to Bromilia, and from there go over to a place called Immerhold, because there is a large river called the Azure Flow, which is very, well, difficult to traverse on your own. But Immerhold is a nice little city situated on the banks of the Azure Flow, which also has, like, different ferries to carry you on. And it's mostly, like, it's not even a real detour. It would take just as much time to get to Immerhold to get to any place to cross the Azure Flow. That would be, like, 5 more days travel from Bromilia to Immerhold, and from there you would be on the edges of the Archwood.
Because of this world, when you said fairies to take you on, I figured fairies as in the flying creatures.
Yeah.
They would take you to a certain place.
Indeed. That's what I meant. No, I'm just kidding.
In that case, I rephrase. Would the assignment perchance be in the Archwoods? Because that would be most convenient.
This next message that comes to you it's
Agitated.
quite it's quite masterful how she can create one entire message that is one long sigh. That's and she says, just across the moat into Bromilia, there is a large tavern known as the Orchard. I will meet you all there.
Poor thing.
Thank you. See you there.
I intend to make her regret knowing us as much
Yeah.
as possible.
Makes
I think
sense.
we're doing
Makes
a
sense.
banging job at that moment.
We are.
She's gonna hate us so much.
All right.
Oh man, imagine if we just dumped the sword in a river somewhere. No, like we bury it somewhere, put some rocks on it, so we know where it is, and then we come up to her and we're like, well, empires, they steal shit. What are you gonna do?
I'm afraid we lost it. It just stumbled out of our bag at some point.
Oh, God.
We already have a couple of bounty hunters on our trail. Do you want some more? Those with magic in that variant?
Well, might as well, right?
Yeah, at least if there's going to be more mercenaries, I might be able to get a turn in during combat.
Yeah. Like, Allison, with your natural 20 on society check, I will give you a little bit of information also. You do realize that you guys scaring off this bunch of rabble is probably just the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that, like, oh, these guys are too powerful, so now we'll just let them escape the law. They're probably going to report back that you guys are strong, and, well, the Empire doesn't like when people break their laws and get away with them. That's something that you know.
Yeah, so that is something that I'm gonna discuss with Iro later.
Oh no.
So-
Iro.
As this message is given to you, Allison, and the rest of the travels of this day continue forward, you are still posed with the question on what the fuck you're about to do, because there is still the bite mark of a vampire in your neck, slowly corrupting you away.
Yeah, I was planning on having that conversation during nighttime.
All right. So, with that, as the travels of this day eventually come to a conclusion, Allison spreads the word of Violora. Oh, sorry. Are you? Yeah. Okay. I assumed, but I shouldn't do that. After
You assumed
Allison
correctly.
spread the news of Violora that she will be waiting for all of you in Bromilia, in the orchard, a place that you actually know. Like you've seen it. Like it's as soon as you walk over the drawbridge and enter the confounded, walled-off city, township, if you will, of Bromilia, it is the first large tavern to your right. Like the main place for travelers to stay the night as well. So with that, as you travel forward, eventually night comes. Without much effort, Hannah gets a beautiful place just outside of the road where you guys are completely boarded off from any visitors that might be walking on the road itself. So you guys are stealthily and secure. Next to a nice little stream that runs through these cragged hills, and in the shade of some nice little leaves and foliage around you to make sure that the cold night sky will not bother you as you set up your tent, get going a campfire, and food is had. What would you like to do?
Guys, there are two conversations that we're gonna have to have.
Two?
Would you like to have a bad one or a very bad one?
Well, we can have the very bad one first. So, yes, we did impersonate somebody that we thought could give us an army. It worked, but they might be after us. That's a thing.
I think
You'll probably be right. Okay.
I meant that one as the bad one, not the very,
What?
very bad one.
What's the
What?
very, very bad one then? Because I thought bounty hunters after us was pretty bad already.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Do you guys mind sitting down for a bit? And just let me talk for a little bit before you interrupt me.
Hannah turns blue.
Will be difficult.
We talked earlier. I elaborated on my condition. I elaborated on my soul slowly perishing. Well, as you all know, very recently, this was made very apparent to me as Sahina Moonbow literally told me by putting it in my eyes. The moon-shaped crescents that are in my eyes. Well, to repeat very quickly, she's opening up a way for my soul to return.
Oh, cool.
No, that's not very cool. That means I'm dying.
Oh, that's not cool at all. No.
I have been thinking about a way to stay alive until I can figure out what is actually going on with my soul, with the counterpart that I am apparently able to talk with, what that connection is, how I can make sure that I stay alive. And I may have a solution, which I at first did not want to bother or scare you with, as it is something that I am very certain of that you might not agree with. But it currently is how it is, and I did not want to keep us off our roads that we are currently traversing. In the fight with Count Fairwind, I got bitten.
You what?
Hold up.
Why didn't you tell us? Hannah turns red.
Call looks around confused. Wait. I did not get anything from before that. But you are bitten.
Yes,
Did you get bitten on purpose?
I was thinking about it, but didn't even have to have those thoughts as, well, he grabbed me and he took a bite. I have been talking with Cell, and Cell can perform a ritual that will make me a true vampire. Making it so I can live in purgatory for a while, not have my soul be ripped from my body at any given moment and die until I can figure out what the F is actually going on.
No, being a vampire is bad, right?
Yeah, didn't we kind of had a conclusion that all vampires are kind of evil?
Will you
Not really.
As
be
you
able
say
to
this,
come back?
as you say this, Hannah, as those words leave your mouth, you already yourself begin to doubt them a little bit, and you don't understand why.
No, okay, yes. Yeah.
Cell has told us before that the reason why Drakal went mad was because he was a vampire spawn, which is kind of equivalent to a disease. Cell can make me a true vampire. But at first, I thought with my medicinal expertise in alchemy, I could do this on my own. I could see where my body was going, how far the curse was affecting me, and maybe even keep it at a halt until we arrived at the Court of Shadows. However, it appears that this curse does not affect my mind, but affects my body as a whole. And I have been slowly starting to feel the effects. I would like Cell to perform this ritual so I can live in this purgatory. I do not want to die. Not yet. And I'm starting to lose hope. And I see this as a long shot. I know it is, but as a way to remain alive, or well, undead, until I can find a way to solve my issues and afterwards find a way to restore myself back to a living creature.
2 questions. Will you remain yourself when you're a vampire? Like, won't you get overtaken by the powers and needs of a vampire? And 2, is there a way of you turning back into the half-elf that you are now?
Last question, I cannot answer with my current knowledge, but I know of very powerful magics. I know that they exist. I know people can be brought back from the dead. So why not be brought back from undead? There must be ways. To answer the first question, as Cell has elaborated on earlier, the control will be in my hands after the ritual. I will be able to control the powers that run through me and not have it rampage through me as it did to Grakal. That's the current hypothesis, at least.
There will be cravings, but
Zal,
Hmm.
I think you should go to tent.
the
pack now speaks to themselves.
I think that Cell could stay and offer advice.
Let me
Because,
just offer these 2 things then.
how are we gonna feed and travel? Because a vampire can travel with daylight and has to feed on blood,
Well,
right?
that is the thing. 2 things. The risk is greater than normally, because normally for this ritual that I know of, there is in need for a catalyst, a mote of the true vampire who bestowed the gift on the new one to make sure that the ritual succeeds. We do not have one. And second,
But we have made hypotheses.
we have alternatives, yes. And second, concerning the travels, I am an anointed priest of the Court of Shadows. I am capable of not only performing this ritual, but I'm not so sure how to put this, but I told you before that me, myself, the Darklings, and the vampires of the Court of Shadow are capable of walking in the light. It is because of the gift of our Crescent King. If Allison would pledge himself to the court, I could bestow this gift upon him as well.
2
So we
things.
are gonna go full anti-Feywild now.
No.
Yes.
2 things.
Otherwise,
Number 1, Wouter, you need to lower your camera. It's not really centered.
excuse me.
Number 2, Grakal stands up, marches towards Cell, and grabs him by the throat and pushes him against a tree. There it is. This is what your words of poison have been going to. You seek someone to replace. I grip tighter so you can't speak. You seek someone to replace Fairwind. You seek to recruit. Yes. take him from pack into yours.
Hold on, Grokol. I don't think
He tries to speak.
I hold his throat while Iroh speaks.
I only said, hold on. I don't think Cell is trying to play some game right here.
No.
Are you?
I loosen my grip.
I do not. The only goal that I have is to return to the court. I do not portray myself as your friend because I am not. You can use me and I can use you. It is as simple as that. If me bestowing this gift to Ellison gets me quicker to my home, then it benefits me just as well. He looks towards you, Ellison, like very, very difficultly, and he just says, "It seems you have choices to make. Can I go now?" Back to Grokol.
Grokol is unsure of what to do, but his other fist clenches as he looks back at the rest of the party, Hannah and Iroh specifically. Waiting.
I trust Cell in that he wants to help Allison, and that although he is aligned with the Court of Shadows, this is not some coup to recruit Allison into the court. The question is still when Allison is included into the Court of Shadows so he can walk the light. Will that have effects on him next to being able to walk in the light? Will he have some sort of oath to the Court of Shadows?
Can you put me down now?
I put him down.
No,
Grokol loosens lets him go as he falls with a thud onto his feet. And Grokol walks away angrily and just kind of stands in the back, leaning against a tree as he continues listening.
The oath would make you a part of the Court of Shadows, but it is a free gift. I do not know of any repercussions for one that breaks the oath, except for the gift to be returned. Your powers lost, if you will.
Does he lie?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I want to check as well.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, Grokol kind of already made up his mind here. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna roll.
Grokol knows what he sees.
Yeah,
21.
and he concludes a liar.
27.
27. He doesn't seem to be lying. He seems to be a little bit annoyed, but like even that, not as much. Like traveling with Zell now for a couple of days, to call him lean back would be an understatement. He just doesn't seem to have a very intense emotional response to anything. He's always a little bit like this. But he doesn't seem to be lying. As he continues, as anyone that breaks an oath with their god, the flow of magic and power stops. It is as simple as that. One that breaks an oath does not get smitten down by their deity. They are no longer worth its gaze. The Crescent King looks upon all his children and bestows the gift of cool darkness to all that would want it. If you would break his trust, well.
What includes breaking his trust? Is it meeting up with the Fae? Does that break the trust?
Well, I think those would be questions to ask him yourself.
And what if the rituals goes wrong?
Then I die. But
Then
I would have
Allison
died
becomes-
anyways.
Then Allison becomes a mindless pest.
Allison, you cannot take oath not to trust.
In that case, I would need you guys to help me out, as we would need to be traveling during the night instead of today.
We shall find a way. But you cannot take oath. He is those that he serve bad. Fairwind, for all stories of this one, Fairwind was bad. He was
know.
not good on wrong side. He liked pain. He liked making pain. He enjoyed.
I know. And if my personality does change, then I would like to ask if you could call to kill me. As then my life is forfeited anyways. As it currently is anyways. I don't see another option than this right now.
Crystal?
I'm not sure why I feel this way, but what if you can become the good kind of vampire, if that even exists? How do you intend on living with those hard feelings of maybe wanting to eat us?
Well, I have thought about this, and I am not sure if vampires can live on animals' blood. If that is the case, there would be no need for me to hunger on humans.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we have any other choice than try, right?
So far, Allison, during this whole conversation, he's just been very, laid back a little bit as well. Like, he doesn't really know how to say this, and he knows that he's doing something wrong, or at least in your eyes. And yeah, he doesn't talk happily, he just talks sad but honest.
I get that you didn't say. I can attest to feeling bad and ashamed of not telling. But at this point, it's best to be pragmatic and to think of solutions instead of problems. And I think turning you into a vampire is the only solution that we have at the moment.
I do feel like you should have told us before. You always scold us on telling you stuff and not holding back on anything. And you've been holding this back for what, like 6 days? Maybe more, maybe less, I'm not sure. But we could have asked anyone on our way if they could help us, if they know anything else. And you just took that from us. And that's not cool.
We were on a mission. And
yeah, but this is bigger than that mission.
Allison just stays silent for a bit.
Zell is sitting inside the tent, just eating a little bit, as he porches up and says, "I'm gonna do you even worse, Hannah, because if we are going to do this, I will need an extra pair of hands."
Do you need me to help you?
Well, I think you are the one most capable. was trained in the ways of nature that can be of use, yes.
Great.
Not at all.
Nope.
Gurkal. Sal and I have theorized that as you were bitten before, you might be connected to Lord Fairwind or Count Fairwind and might be able to partly be used as a catalyst as well. I might also be able to produce something with my cognitive mutagens that would help as well, as those are also created in those areas, but it's...
Allison. Gurkal walks over and starts undoing his breastplate, or the straps on it, at least. And as he stops next to you, he puts his hand on your shoulder. I do not understand any of those words, but you have my oath that I shall kill you. But for now, take what you need. No problem. Gurkal looks around to the rest. We'll go to sleep now.
Wait, how much time do we have left? Do we need to do this now? Do we have
preferably
the
tomorrow.
opportunity to? Okay.
Sal gets up. All of you can go to sleep. I must make preparations. During the day, the ritual must be completed. It will take the entire day, approximately 8 hours. Afterwards, we'll see what remains. Alison, you do not get the luxury of sleep either. If you want to create a catalyst out of the mutagens that you possess, now is the time.
Well, look at it this way, after the ritual, you don't need that much sleep anymore.
Didn't anyways, but that's very true.
I like your optimism, Iroh.
There's a loud pang as Gurkal's breastplate hits the ground, and he walks towards his the tent, where he starts to undo the rest of his armor.
All right.
I assume that the other conversation will have another day.
Yeah, no pros. No problem. Well, it's been some time, so if we take another day or two, no problem.
No, let's focus on your problem instead of mine.
Yeah, we're focusing on what you did wrong, not on what we did wrong at the moment.
Aro, I could use your intellect as well.
What can I help with?
Well, your skill at brewing might actually be useful for me.
Ooh.
Could you help me out?
Yeah, no problem.
All right then. So, as we begin the preparations of the ritual to turn Allison into a true vampire, the create undead ritual. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. So first, you guys are going to try and create a catalyst. Are we going to draw blood from Gurkal to also work as a piece of the catalyst, or are we looking at him and afraid that we're going to be eaten by him? At least Zell is, I can tell you.
Well, Gurkal just said, like, if you need anything, you can have it. So I will ask him for a sample of his blood.
Yeah, you see his arm sticking out of the sleeping tent that he's in.
Very well. Then for this, Allison, go ahead and make me a medicine check.
Natural 15 plus 14 is 29.
29, nice. All right, so during this process, you not only get out one of your syringes to extract a sample of Gurkal's blood, but you also, cross-referencing with the knowledge that you had found while examining yourself, looking at like the similarities between what you see that is Count Fairwind in you, like the wound and the curse that you have, looking for traces of that in Grakal's blood. And you do find some, and you are able to distill his blood a little bit and have it as another component, if you will. So we now have the Count Fairwind part from Grakal's blood, and let's see if we can enhance it with the alchemical reagents that you possess. So, as you continue to do so, let's see, go ahead and make me a crafting check, and Iroh, you can go ahead and try and aid Allison with your brewing supplies as you get out your alchemical setup. In the meantime, as Zell is just looking up through the foliage at the sky, he smiles a little bit and he says, "It is a good moon tonight. He shines upon us all. It is a good omen." As you guys continue to get like the cognitive mutagens, the strong potions that you possess, trying to format a little bit of a distilled alchemical power from it to add with the catalyst that is the blood of Grakal. What is your crafting check? And Iroh, how good did you do the aiding?
For my aid, is it also crafting?
That would be brewery.
Brewery.
Because Allison asked you, and I thought, like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go for that.
Yeah. That's a 25.
All right, so Allison gets a +1 to his crafting check.
For my crafting check, that's a natural 11. Plus 18 plus 1 is a 30.
30. All right. And with that, after getting all of the components together, you look at the final attribute of it. And as Zell walks up to it for a moment, gets out his spells to identify the reagent, he takes a look at you and says, "Well, that's pretty spot on, actually. It looks strong, capable. I don't think we will have any problems with this as a catalyst." So with these checks, it seems that the alternative that you had created will not impose any penalties on the ritual, which is going to be nice.
That's very nice. A little bit lower chance that Allison might die.
Yeah. DC 27 on all of those checks, and you got both of them, so hell yeah. So, then, as of this moment, as the day comes, after that Allison has spent its entire night brewing this reagent, Iroh, you were able to get some good hours of sleep in. Eventually the sun comes up, and during the night, Zell was already busy like getting all these different leaves to overlap each other. He made a sort of ritual, well, not table, but just a ritual mat underneath the foliage that covers him to make sure that Allison is out of the sun. Allison, go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw. See if you fail this horribly, then we might have to perform this ritual on a non-willing participant.
Should I use the die in that we have?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's natural 9 plus 9 is 18.
18, all right. It's not that detrimental, although this time as the autumn sun comes up and shines through the foliage, it burns you already, and you are having this terrible, terrible migraine while being there. As Zell puts you underneath this coverage of foliage to make sure that you are out of the sun as good as it gets, and underneath it, it's quite cool and a little bit damp and nice actually. As he starts to perform said ritual, he begins to chant in the shadow speak that you guys do not know of. He gets out from different pouches that he carries on him different powders and reagents. He gets a couple of candles out that he ignites next to you. He seems to have like a kit for all these types of rituals on hand with all of his reagents for spellcasting. Grakal?
So at this point, Grakal's already awake, right? And the rest are too? Yeah, okay. So Grakal's going to stand at a close distance, lean against a tree, have the Midsummer blade out, with the blade kind of leaning against the ground.
Sorry, did you say that you were close?
Yeah, let's say about 10, 15 feet.
As you come standing there and you take out the Midsummer blade, Zell stops his incantation for a moment. With you and that thing so close, this will be a disaster.
Gurkal steps away and takes up position at a tree another 10 feet away.
Zell
Far
sighs.
enough.
Don't you have another weapon that you can pester me with? Just get that thing out of here.
Yes. So, fair enough. So Gurkal puts away the Midsummer blade. He stashes it somewhere hidden in the tent. And with his spear and shield out, he waits, ready to intervene if he deems it necessary.
All right. And with that, as the starting incantation is completed, eventually the different powders begin to ignite for a moment and burn different patterns like across Allison and the ground surrounding him, as Zell puts the staff down. Tink. Hannah, if you would join me please for a tiring day.
Yes.
Very well. All right, what I will need you to do is the following. And there we will take a little break. And we will be back at 35 to, start a ritual to turn our good friend Allison into a vampire. So, hell yeah.
Yay.
Out of character, Gurkal's pretty much 100% against this. But out of character, I am excited to have a vampire in the party.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's not skill the combat. Just let him be
No.
OP for a bit, Also, Mux, before we go on the break, you need to eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, don't be too happy with your vampirism, Allison, because there also
Penalties,
are some detrimental things, like a penalty in HP, which will basically turn your HP down with 60%.
Oh my god.
So yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, relatively speaking, that's a very small penalty. Or, well, not relatively speaking.
No.
Just in hard numbers, I mean.
Yeah. Relatively,
it's 5
it's going to be
HP, 60% of Allison's HP.
40 is about 60% of all that he has. So, but we'll be back at 35
Low burn.
to continue all of this. For now, I will leave you with this beautiful cliffhanger. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
So,
And welcome back, everybody. So, last we left off, our heroes were on their way to the Court of Shadows in their ongoing struggles in a, ongoing campaign, if you will, between the Court of Shadows and the Seelie Court. The Court of Shadows trying to conquer a place in this material plane for their Darkling followers, while the Seelie Court is trying to push them back and make sure that no darkness is spread here in this plane. On their way to the Court of Shadows to see if the pack can find some sort of peaceful resolution to allow the Darklings to live in the light while not spreading their darkness, and in that way not, attracting the ire, if you will, of the other fey creatures. Our heroes had a more pressing problem to deal with as of right now. Because in the last grand encounter with the Court of Shadows, Allison was bitten by a vampire. And now, some 5 days later, the curse has run its course, the disease eating away at his body little by little, where Allison now stood before a choice. Succumb to vampirism and embrace it, or try to cure it in some way. He chose for the first option. With our newly found companion Zell, who has the ability to perform a ritual to turn Allison from some mindless beast into a true vampire, a vampire capable of controlling the dark forces within them, you have stood here on this somewhat cloudy autumn day, preparing. While Allison is laid underneath a cover of leaves to make sure that no sunlight touches his skin, Hannah is asked by Zell to accompany him here in this ritual. And as he speaks, what I'm about to do is circumvent the normal forces of nature. We will allow the curse of vampirism to take its course in Allison, and with it, in some way, take his life. What I need you to do is to convince all the nature around us to make an exception for Allison. The natural order of things will try to pull his spirit away, to let him go to the afterlife, to let his body rest. What we need is to convince the world and nature itself that Allison's soul still belongs here in this vessel. It will now only be powered by different means. Are you up for the task, Hannah?
Yes.
Very well. Now then, as Zell pulls out the vial of blood and alchemical reagents used as the catalyst in this, he spreads it across Allison's bare chest. Allison, already unconscious as of this moment because of the ritual, a crescent moon is being drawn with a line through it. And from there, different droplets are placed on Allison's forehead, where with one thumb movement he also puts a crescent moon. The empty vial is discarded as Zell gets his fire staff out that he is borrowing from you, Hannah, and begins to chant. Villa Morales, Fora Sierra, Villa Morales. And as he first begins with this slow, monotonous hum, it seems as if all of your surroundings throughout this entire ordeal, for hours on end, begin to copy the rhythm that Zell is putting into this ritual. Villa Morales, Valikel, Villa Morales. And it continues, and it continues. Eventually, even the winds flowing through the trees, the foliage itself is picking up on this low hum and joining in with him. And while this is going on, Hannah, you realize that Allison's heartbeat is going downward. Allison's skin is becoming pale. He looks sicklish, and you just hope that everything is going according to plan, as Zell has asked you to put the forces of nature at bay. So with that, as part of this ritual during this day, I need you to go ahead and make a nature check.
Mm-hmm.
DC 27.
Okay, it's a natural 1, but I'm going to use my hero point.
Thank
Very
you.
well.
No problem. Okay. DC 27, you said?
DC 27.
It's a 37. Wait, no. 29. I'm sorry.
29. All right, so that's a
So
success.
close enough.
So because the way rituals work, if you fail the check, then the ritual fails. So with that, as the ritual goes on, the chanting of Zell filling all of you, the rest of you taking a little bit of a distance, you begin to realize that with Hannah pushing away all of nature's forces, there are still some vines trying to grow outward and embrace Allison. But with the chanting of Hannah, with her druidic magics flowing outward, the vines that are growing to try and reclaim Allison are pushed at bay. And with it, a nice little perimeter is being formed. A box, if you will, to keep Allison in. A coffin, as the ritualistic place where Zell is performing this ritual is now turning into a beautiful, naturalistic, elven form designed death coffin. The resting place of Allison if this ritual would succeed. And as this goes on, the chanting going further and further, the hours of day turn into the hours of midday, and eventually the shadows of the mountains overtake all of you, as you can see a crescent moon shining high in the sky. Vila Morales, Vila Morales. The chanting continues. Zell himself into some sort of eerie trance, just repeating the same phrase over and over. But now that you realize how long this is going on, you begin to realize that there are different levels in his voice now, that there weren't there before. As eventually even night falls. And as the last little piece of sunlight passes over the mountain range, the fire in the staff that Zell is holding turns from an orange into a bright blue light, as the ritual is coming to its conclusion. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and need a occultism check from Zell, which is going to be a DC 22. So, Allison, if you would roll me a d20, please.
In the screen? Okay.
Yep, in screen.
Natural 10?
Natural 10. All right. So, in the stat block that the Darkling court priests have, there stands a bonus, so I can't cheat this out in any way. But eventually, as the ritual comes to a close, Vila Morales Agnica, all of the blood on Allison's chest ignites. The vines that have been kept at bay by Hannah begin to entangle over the lid as everything tumbles into this complete coffin, as the winds that had been blowing for the entirety of the ritual die down. And the winds that have been blown seemingly were only from the ritual itself, as this is a eerie, quiet night now. The ritual of Undeath that has been performed here has long ago scattered all of the woodland critters and creatures of life away. All of you do feel a little bit uneasy with what has transpired here. But Azel is a plus 14 on his occultism, with a natural 10 that brings it to a 24, which is over 22. And with that, the vine-made coffin where Allison rests eventually grows one large leaf with the symbol of his house on top of it, with the isometric cubes with ants being engraved upon it. And from it, the forces of nature itself open the coffin. And there, Allison, you open your eyes for the first time in your new form. You feel calm, cold, and thirsty.
I sit up, look around. Am I thirsty for water or blood? Do I know?
Oh, you will for the rest of your existence only be thirsty for one of the two. You run your tongue across your teeth, and you not really know them that well yet in this new form, and you accidentally cut yourself on them. Oh, that doesn't taste right. Your own blood now tastes a little bit like ash. As if you would lick old blood from the ground. Ugh.
I get out of the coffin. I look at it. Look at the rest. What do we do with this?
This will be the place that we carry you in. This will be your resting place.
Quick question: can it go into the bag of holding?
It's too large for that.
Damn
the
it!
bag of holding is like a entrance of this big, like 15 centimeters at the long end.
Nobody warned us for this.
Can I assume, given that I am conscious and calm, that it worked?
Well, you look like shit.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Edison's a vampire now?
This is weird. I feel weird. Can I hunt? I want to hunt.
You can see that Hannah's a bit scared of Allison right now.
I don't know if Allison just became a vampire or recall.
You no longer see Ellison's chest rising with his breath. Because he doesn't breathe anymore.
That's weird.
What do you want to hunt for?
I am very, very thirsty.
Great.
A deer, a squirrel, rabbit, anything?
Go look, go fetch or something. We can have a look what roams
Go
around.
fetch.
We can have a look what roams around, and I kind of scoot Melo behind me.
Hey.
Like Melo during all of this has like a tail completely poofed up. Like he is like keeping his distance.
Oh, I am protecting Melo.
Yeah, no, like Melo is just really, really uneasy. Like felines have a certain knack for these kinds of creatures, and Melo realized like, man, this not kosher at all. Nuh-uh.
I guess I can help you hunt if you don't have the energy for it.
I am feeling fine.
But I'll kill you if you touch Melo.
Why? I won't. I go on one knee in front of you guys, and I just reach out my hand. Melo, it's okay.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Dad.
Well, technically this would be nature, but what was your diplomacy check?
Nature is also fine. It's either 28 or 26.
I won't let him.
Melo is just looking, being quite a little bit on edge, just scurries a little bit closer to Hannah. But eventually he stops like the growls, if you will.
Okay. Do I see clearer than I did before?
You
Do I have true dark sight, dark vision, or not?
Let me see here. Yada yada yada. Let's see.
Because that ought to be weird.
You do not.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
Don't vampires have dark vision?
I figured they would have,
What the hell?
but apparently not.
Nope. Well,
Well, that
well.
sucks.
where
We can figure that out later.
Vampire has. So for now at least, we will start. You have control of yourself, and you have the basic vampire abilities. So not like all of the great toys that come with the true vampire, but you do have a decrease in hit points, but you gain fast healing. So your wounds get back very, very quickly. You do take a look down at your hands, and the nails from your fingers do seem sharp enough to do multiple things. 1, climb obstacles with, and 2, rake enemies with.
Yeah,
And-
the latter one, given that I'm not a strength-based character, probably still doesn't go as well, but...
Still though, you and of course you gain the drink blood ability.
Yes. Pretty
Great.
much.
Now Alice,
Excellent.
can you turn into a bat?
I don't know. Can
For
I try?
now, for now you cannot. For now you
no.
cannot.
Don't think so. I've no idea how.
So Garkal moves up and drops his weapon and shield onto the ground with a reluctant, grudging sigh, and he moves over to pick up the coffin. He lifts it up. I want to see how heavy it is. I think it's going to be bulk 2 or something.
An entire coffin? An entire coffin is going to be a little bit more than bulk 2. This is like something. It's not only the size. It's just like the. It's not only the weight. It's also the size of it. This is going to be something like with Allison in it. Like you gotta have to eventually. You guys gotta have to make a weight of traveling with like a cart or some sort. This isn't something that you are just gonna like strap to your back and carry along at an easy pace.
Yeah, Allison is gonna be bulk 6. And I can carry up to 17 bulk.
Like Allison is bulk 6. How do you come to that number?
It says in the book that medium creatures generally are bulk 6.
Oh, cool. Good to know. Like including all of their equipment and such, because like Allison's blade is already bulk 2 and stuff.
I mean, it's the assumption it makes.
Okay.
Let me see what it says specifically. Blah 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 blah. Let me go here. You might need to know the bulk of a creature, especially if you need to carry someone off the battlefield. The table that follows lists the typical bulk of a creature based on its size. So it doesn't really say it specifically.
How much bulk can Grukal carry?
17.
17. Yeah, that's
I already have a lot of gear that takes up.
Because like together like with Allison and all of his gear and all of his stuff, like that's I think Allison is going to be like somewhere around a small 10 bulk, because like his weapon on his own is already 2 bulk, and then like all of his alchemical equipment and stuff, you know.
Especially that ladder is very heavy.
So we'll say for the sake of like this campaign, we will say that you can carry him for the next couple of days towards Bromilia, but from there on, you probably want to have a easier mean of travel with him. Perhaps just have a cart or like some beast of burden to carry him around with.
Yeah.
Like, it's also going to be a little bit weird to just walk around all day with a coffin. But right now, like because you guys are going to travel by night, like it's at least going to be an empty coffin, so you're not going to have to carry Allison around.
Yeah.
For at least the next like 2-3 hours, Allison's just constantly with his tongue playing with his new like fangs. Like this is very weird to just all of a sudden have your teeth completely different than what you're used to. So he's constantly playing with it.
Go ahead and make me a survival check, Allison.
20?
20? All right. So as Allison walks off and goes on a hunt, eventually he just says like, I need to hunt. Like he has some cravings and it's better to keep those in check, you know. Allison darts off into the woods for a moment, and the rest of you are left to your own devices for a second. If you wish to converse about things, this would be the time.
If Allison wants to, I can help him hunt. But that's on him, if he wants.
Yeah, sure. So, one question. What kind of things do I have to avoid?
Excuse me?
Well, are there other things that might hurt me?
Sunlight.
Sunlight, gotcha. Anything else?
Well,
not for now. We will go over them soon. Just get something to eat. It will make things easier for both of us.
One more thing. Garlic. Also, wild magic surge.
Oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
Oh snap! Thank you, Nideko. Then, Allison, can I get another D20 roll, please?
Yes.
Please. For God's sake.
That's a 1.
A 1?
I won.
Oh my god. Okay. So this is beautiful. All right. So I'm just going to check just to be sure. Yep. Number 1 is a devil gets contracted.
Fuck.
No.
Oh.
Hold on.
My bad.
So yeah.
I made a bad.
What did you do?
He just added to it. He didn't complete it yet.
Oh. Okay. Well,
prematurely.
We already rolled.
A little bit of a premature evacuation there.
There you go. It's done. There you go. I'm not gonna fucking get the natural one out of the way. So, for this, I need a short moment. So Hannah, in the meantime, go ahead and make me a survival check, please.
Yeah, for my next character, I would like to be.
Who's gonna get the contract though? What's happening?
25.
I'm getting this. 25. All right.
Yep.
So with that, Allison, you get a +1, so that makes it a 21. So while you guys are traversing the woodlands, Allison is not only running around, but also sometimes as a squirrel, just climbing up a tree to get a little bit of a better vantage point with your dark vision, because it would be weird if you have no dark vision. Why doesn't it say that? And you jump down and eventually you run further and further, as eventually, Hannah, as you are pointing him into the right directions, not really seeing any small critters, but pointing him into the right directions of like where small critters would be, eventually you hear from the bushes a high-pitched squeal as the sound of a rabbit finding its end is close by.
That's fair.
I have the rabbit in hand. Do I like just okay?
No, you don't have to think about this. You kill the creature and a little bit of the blood, and it looks so gosh darn delicious.
Oh, fair. So I'm trying to first speak with Hannah. Like, okay, do you mind turning around real quickly?
Why?
This is I have no idea how this will look like, and I will munch on this thing for. I'm not sure if you want to see this.
I'm going to watch.
All right, and I start munching and drinking.
Yeah, you go for it all the way?
Yeah.
All right. Allison is making himself into one bloody mess. Like, he is digging in, like, literally. First, his teeth sink in, and eventually, as he begins to drink the blood, you can see the carcass of the rabbit just, like, twitch a little bit with the last pieces of energy that it still had in its muscle tissue. And eventually, as, like, the last drops come off, Allison retracts his mouth that is now completely red, and it drips off, and he has, like, this shudder in his jaw for a moment, like.
As I was eating, I was just in a trance, complete trance. Like, nothing took my attention away.
When they come back, we don't know who's more red, Hannah or Allison.
That's fair.
Hannah, he doesn't look in control.
No, that's what I was afraid of. That's why I wanted to watch. Good to know.
Am I satisfied with my meal?
Eventually you are. A little bit. That thirst will never really leave you.
Okay. I look at myself, all covered in blood. I'm gonna go clean this off.
Let's go back, yeah. And you can see that Hannah, like, keeps her distance from you and goes back on her own, kinda leaving you behind.
All right.
I will find a. Allison has not been told anything about running water, so he's gonna try and find running water to wash himself.
There was a creek next to your campsite, so you can make a little bit of a detour to, like, get towards the creek just outside the campsite, wash up a little bit, and then eventually, with yourself in a somewhat more humbled visage, return to the campsite, where we find.
So nothing happens with running water. Just curious.
Oh, sorry.
Just
Let me.
I.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this is a Pathfinder thing.
I'm not sure either. Sunlight.
Because if this just like Sal didn't tell me, so this is what
Yeah,
Ellison does.
In the yada yada yada, compulsion, revulsions.
Don't think it states, does it?
No, in Pathfinder rules, it does say nothing about the running water.
Okay. Well,
So
then it's up to you.
I will see that you don't have any problems with that. You do, however, don't really like the holy symbol that is hanging around Hannah's neck,
Yeah.
and you are not really capable of coming within 10 feet of her.
Oh, well, that's nice.
At this point, I will have collected and sheathed and equipped the Midsummer blade as well.
Very well. All right, so as all of you are gathering, Allison, you are the last one to come back into camp as you are just making yourself a little bit ready, and you look across the way and you can already see the brandished holy symbol of Melora, and it's not really all that nice to you. But there's another thing that catches your attention as Iroh is like holding out the green icosahedron, the artifact, the fourth wall-breaking item, as it is like first beginning to shine brightly from within, a some sort of white light, and then as quickly as it emanated, it turns to a dark red color. At which moment, two portals appear. First, a fiery portal opens up as a figure steps out. A feminine figure with long robes and different horns protruding from her head, a cowl of sorts covering her eyes as she smiles, and a grin of razor-sharp white teeth are emanated as she utters these words in like a common tongue that vibrates throughout the air. A contract is struck. As from the other portal, an iron-clad female warrior enters, with her eyes ignited in the air. On her back, a large metal bow, a long sword on her side, her full-plate armor being crafted in the image of a skull among her chest and her shoulders and her knees, as two jet black feathered wings sprout from her back as she utters the words, "I will take this contract." As from the different horned creature, from one of her sides, a piece of paper is turned over, and the devil lady signs it on one end, as from the artifact a spectral green hand appears and signs it as well. As of that moment, the contract rolls back up, bursts into hellfire, as with two hands the lady that had struck this bargain comes together and she utters, "The contract is struck." And she pushes back through the portal into the hells from which she came, as the other ironclad warrior says, "As the bargain is struck, I will begin my hunt. Until we find each other on the battlefield." And she is also sucked back through the portal,
Oh no.
leaving all of you fucked.
Looking at Iroh, is this you as well?
I didn't do a thing. I don't know what happened. What is this? What is this, man? Is this part of the ritual or something?
Yeah, it's kind of a coincidence that it's happening now, right?
Why did the artifact suddenly sign a contract?
Yeah, so
What name did it choose, by the way?
for our viewers, the Wild Magic Surge rolled a natural 1. So basically, this one ironclad lady, an Arrhenius devil, has just been contracted to kill the party. And as devils make contracts, that is their way. She now has a contract to hunt the party into oblivion. So yeah, that's what's going on now.
Bad.
Great.
Wild magic, hell yeah, I love it.
This
Whose
is not
idea was
good.
this again?
Sel, is this you?
For fuck's sake, I wish I had this type of magic at my disposal. No.
This
Okay.
is not good, I think.
It is a sign from Kurenau. He looks at Allison because of that.
What will it be hunting?
Did you bring your hunt? Your kill?
I already ate it.
Well, ate it is like not the word for it. I kind of feel like you devoured it, but sure.
Well, if one's hungry, one devours.
Yeah, but most
you
of the
should
time you're
see
kind
me
of in
with-
control of what you're eating.
Well, you should see me with a nice steak. I devour it as well.
Was it that
because
bad?
Iro didn't see what you saw, so Iro just thinks devour like, oh man, this tastes so good, yeah. And
You
not
were
the
in a
mindless trancing.
you were in trance. I wasn't able to like talk to you or get in contact with you while you were doing it. You don't
Damn.
have control over this, Allison.
Then that's something to keep into account.
Recall wanders off. Guess I will find food for the rest then. As he goes into the woods.
I will sit down and think about what just happened. Were those devils?
I think so. What?
You're muted, Walter.
How?
I take out the sending object that we had with Nido. I will press it. Why the fuck was there a contract signed with some devils by your creation?
Oh god, gotta put on Nido voice again. Ah, greetings, Allison. It is good to hear from you. It has been some time. I hope your researches are going well. About your question, the thing is that the artifact F has a little bit of a, shall we say, a wild side that has a lot of magical potential, but next to it also has with it some variations in the outcome. I hope that a netto gain of at least 53% positive effects should be accounted for.
You're gonna kill us. I just whisper softly.
Into the void.
Okay. I think we're fucked. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. Can we beat a devil?
I've never fought one before. I have read that they can be beaten on this plane,
No.
but not killed.
Then we're fine because we have calm.
Let's hope
Sure.
so.
All right. I'm not sure what to do as I don't feel sleepy at all. I guess I will do some alchemy.
Weren't we supposed to travel by night? It is nightfall now.
Aren't any of you tired?
No, not really.
Well, Hannah might be a little bit tired because we performed the
yeah,
ritual,
that's
but
true.
Rukal and Iro have been sitting on their ass all day.
In that case, we can travel? Let's travel.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let me help with the coffin.
Seems appropriate.
Recall is gonna come back after he finds food to share with the party later.
I'd say, you have spent an entire day just doing nothing. Seems like a good time to go hunting as well. So if you want, you had already foraged enough food for the party.
All right. So he returns with his latest kill, and silently nods.
Allison looks at it. Hard to keep his eyes off it, but he will pull himself together.
Very well. And with that, as everybody packs up camp and begins their travels during nighttime, Zell is the last one to finish off the pack as he utters the words, "This is the most crazy night I've ever been a part of." And then he follows suit.
Same.
So, Allison, being freshly turned into a vampire, a true friend of the night, is following along as in the halls of the night you will continue your second day of travel. 2 nights until you guys should follow and enter into Bromilia. So, are we doing the same as always?
Yes.
Very well then.
Yeah, I think so.
Until we are at Bromilia,
Mhm.
I have to carry the coffin together with Recall, so I can't do my.
Yeah, that would be a little bit difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Makes
I
sense,
don't.
yeah.
I don't think I can do my activities this time
No.
around, and I don't
Very
want
well.
to put it on anyone else right now because that would be a little bit mean.
It's very thoughtful of you, indeed.
Right.
All right, so then the only 2 checks that I need are a survival check from Hannah and a perception check from Iroh, as you guys are keeping watch and making sure that you guys make it safely and surely to your destination.
I'm a bit-
32.
32. Nice. That is a critical success.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Iroh's a bit taken back by the whole thing, and he's not really paying attention with a 16.
With a 16. All right. Then I need another D20 in chat. In the stream, Max, to see what kind of ordeal is among this leg of the journey.
17.
17.
I love these dice. They're great.
17.
Are we
A
gonna
sunny
die?
day and a sunny day and backwind grant faster travel. So now that we are traveling through the night, we will turn that on its head a little bit. So as the clear sky is full of bright stars and the crescent moon shines ever so brightly, a backwind is still apparent behind all of you. And together with a critical success on the survival check of Hannah, it seems that you guys are more quickly than thought before traveling through these lands. If you push on a little bit, you can all go ahead and try to make a fortitude saving throw to see if you can get to your destination in this night. So eventually, Hannah, as you are traveling, you guys are picking up the pace. And now that Allison and Grikal are also just carrying this box with them, it is during the night, it seems that most of all the other dangers on the road are also fast asleep. It seems that you guys are picking up the pace. So eventually, as you guys are underway, you realize this, Hannah, you could make it in one night.
And we're going mostly downhill. There seems to be no uphill anymore.
Only downhill.
Just rolling down.
That is true. Grikal is correct, yes. So, do you guys want to push on and see if you can make it in this one night?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, then all of you need to go ahead and make DC 15 fortitude saving throws to see if this tires you out.
15? Really?
You guys are heroes nowadays.
25.
Damn.
There you go.
I need to roll a 2 or higher.
Critical
For me, I kind of make it on a 1, except for the whole 1 part.
Well, that's a 16, so that's a 29.
Oh no, wait, I lied. For this.
DC
No.
16.
You guys, no, you need to make a DC 20. Make a DC 20.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Excuse me.
Still made it.
Yeah.
Made it too.
oh,
Yeah,
my bad. You need to
like-
make a DC 45.
No, but these kinds of checks, like you guys are level 7 now. Next session level 8. This time around, you have overcome natural obstacles. Right? You are heroes now. You are out of those like early levels where you can trip over a log that fell down. No, you got this. Everything's all right with this. So, as you guys push on through the night with a very comedic fashion, with like Grakul up front, with like the coffin in between him, with Allison at the back, hurrying through everything, eventually as the sky itself begins to turn from a deep midnight into a dark blue, into a light blue, as the sun is slowly but surely cressing upward, Allison is already having to squint his eyes, as eventually you push on through the last pieces of forest, and surrounding you is a wide open field with all different small hamlets surrounded by fields of wheat, grass fields where different sheep and cows are grazing, and in the distance you can already hear like the another stream, a little bit wider one, that eventually turns into the moat surrounding Bromilia. And there in the back you can see the 5 meter tall, overgrown, vine encrusted walls of this small township, with the drawbridge ever lower down. Where do you guys want to go now that you have reached your destination, but you still have the coffin? What are the plans for the pack?
I have one question. How strong are my compulsions right now? As a website that I looked up to see what a vampire does says a typical vampire can't voluntarily cross running water unless it is transported while it hides within its coffin. So this is surrounded by a moat. Is that considered running water?
That would be running water, I guess. Yeah.
So I cannot cross this unless I am in my coffin.
Well,
Allison
it's a drawbridge.
Allison has just taken a very hefty amount of aquaphobia into his system.
So can I cross this if there is a drawbridge, or what's the
Well,
ruling
it's
on
still
this?
crossing
Right? Yeah.
running water. So this would be a place where Allison needs to be in his coffin and just like be scared.
It is.
Help! That's... I don't know. No. I am
Allison,
not crossing that. No.
Okay, but the sun is also coming up. You need to rest. What is the plan here? You guys walk all the way up to the drawbridge already?
I was actually gonna intervene before that even.
Yeah.
Grakul says, "Let us stop. Set up tent here. Iroh can stay with Allison and Zal. Hannah and Grakul go into town. Find cart.
Oh man, I have to stay here. I think it might even be better if you and I go, Grakul, because Hannah is probably pretty tired from the ritual still from yesterday.
Grakul
Am
looks
I?
at Hannah.
Is she?
Right now, after pushing through the night, like you don't take you do not get the fatigued state, but you are tuckered out, because basically you just skipped an entire night.
Fair. I guess I'm a bit tired, but I think you guys should take Melo if you don't take me.
What I'll do is climb into this thing. Because I don't want to die, as the sun is currently slowly...
Different birds are already awakening. somewhere in the distance from one of these farmsteads you hear.
So, we set up our big tent.
All right.
Stash the coffin in there. Hannah on the lookout.
So
And I agreed to take Melo with us. Yeah.
So to give you an idea of like the lay of the land, you basically have this. So you have a small river that eventually turns out into the moat with the township itself, and then like a vast land of like, so you have like the small river entering into the township, and then a vast land of farmland with you guys coming in from this side right here. So do you want to set like your tent up just within the confines of a somewhat civilized area, or do you guys want to set up your tent next to the township? Now that you look at it, you can already see that a couple of like traveling merchants and stuff are doing the same, having their carts like just outside of the city. Or do you want to like back up and make sure that nobody sees this vampire sleeping in its coffin? Like what are the tactics here?
I'm cool with staying a bit away where we are now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a bit out of the way, not too close to the road as well.
Very well. As you enter like the area where all of the fields are tamed by agriculture, you see a small little pathway just next to one of the large fields, where the trees of the forest area are still like overlapping with it a little bit. And there you can follow in a little bit to find a place that seemingly some other persons before you some time ago had also used as a campsite. Like just at the border between the farmlands and the forest itself, where you can set up your tent, make sure that it's like 20, 30 feet away from the main road so that people don't even can look inside it. And there you can set down Allison's resting place, it seems.
So am I forced to rest during the day even if there's a tent?
Are you
does this
forced to
work?
rest during the day? Well, we will say that you need to take, like, you do need to take a long rest.
Okay.
It doesn't say that, like, you don't have to sleep anymore and you can do whatever you want. So, unlike Undead, isn't destroyed. Immunities, death effects, disease, paralyze, poison, and sleep effects. So you are immune to like effects that make you fall asleep.
Yeah.
But it's still. I'm going to rule that you still need to make long rests because otherwise this is going to be overpowered.
Yeah.
Like we will
sense.
figure out the details about like what exact aspects of a vampire you take over and what which ones we leave out, because otherwise you're going to be like 3 levels higher with the rest of the party the entire time.
Yeah, that's not.
But I will say you will have to keep having long rest just as rest.
Cool. Makes sense. Then
All right.
I'll return to my coffin.
All right. Then, as Allison falls asleep in his coffin, the morning is slowly but surely greeting all of you. And as you gaze outward, you can see different doors from the small little hovels open up as people scurry outside and begin in the early morning the first trials of a day as a farmer. What is the rest doing? This one's better.
Then we take Melo and Gorkal and I go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Hannah, you were also taking a rest period.
Gorkal will check in on Hannah though before we leave. Just kind of leaning down to her eye height. You be okay?
I hope so. I'm just not sure if we can trust him yet.
Yes. If dangerous, run. Come to us.
Yes. I'm just glad you take Milo with you.
Why?
I've seen him eat a rabbit. I'm not sure if Milo will be safe.
And I should say that you look at a distance and you see Melo tackle Iroh.
Yes. We'll have to worry for Iroh instead. Easier.
Fair.
Well, I lose Iroh often.
Iroh does too.
Speaking of. And Grikal kind of wanders off, trying to catch up with the two of them.
Good luck.
Yes.
As Hannah and Zell remain with Allison to take a nice little breather after a very feisty route throughout the night, the rest of you walk along a nice little dirt road, covered on both sides by wooden fence work to make clear where one farmland ends and another begins, as eventually you begin to hear the running water running into the moat, and as you step forward, you begin to smell this peculiar aroma of a mixture of humanoid excrement together with somewhat still standing water and a little bit of rot mixed in with it as you get closer and closer to the township itself. Eventually, as you step up to the drawbridge, a couple of guards of the wilderness, that's what they called, stand at the ready with their long pikes as they step forward for a moment with their green tabards. You see that here in Bromilia they carry the beautiful symbol of, a sword in a hilt overgrown with like one vine with beautiful leaves that eventually plops out in a large red flower, a bromelia flower, if you will. And as you step forward, you can see this nicely painted on their tabards on the green scabbard with white paint, and then the flower itself in nice red as they step forward and say, "Halt! Who goes there? What business do you..." Oh, wait. Excuse me. Pack members, correct?
Yes.
Right. Where's the rest of your party, if I may ask?
They are camped. We had a crazy night, and they are tucked away.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
You're not in need of a healer, I hope?
No, just a nice bed.
Well, a lot of nice beds in here too. Anyway.
We seek one more thing.
Yes?
We seek one of those large wooden things with wheels pulled by large beasts.
A cart?
Yeah.
A cart. Sure. Let's see here. I guess that travel companions would be the best place for you. It's just across from the orchard, right over there.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
Yes.
It's a stable and, well, store. Makes sense, I guess.
How do you know who we are?
Recall, you have been here before.
Oh.
This is the place where you yourself was cured from vampirism.
This is where the portal to the Shadowfell lies.
Oh, right. My bad. Okay. We go inside now. Yes?
Yes, I already said that you were free to go.
Yes. Grikal seems confused. His memories all bundled up and bunched up, and honestly, he can't really tell one human town from the other anyway, so...
Makes sense.
It's
All right.
all the same, big walls.
Yeah, whatever.
Phallic symbols, silly humans.
All right, so as you enter the premise of Bromilia, as you step over the moat across the drawbridge, you gaze inward and you can see that this moat is packing together a nice little bundle of stone and plasterwork housing, all bundled together, pushed against each other to make sure that no square meter is left unused within this township. And as you gaze forward, you can already see that as its Shadowfell counterpart, this town also has nice little bastions of nature, if you will, with nice little flower beds spread across, and different large lantern towers, like places where people can hang lanterns during the night. Also house different baskets where different flowers are grown in. And in the middle, you can see the place where this place is governed, namely the Garden of the Deep, with in the middle a small keep called the Leaf Shade Hold, where the Green Guard is keeping watch over this area. But you guys don't really go all the way over there to meet with the lord of this establishment, I believe, as you now look at two sides of you, with on one side the orchard, the large tavern, named, of course, for the small little trees that are planted outside of it, and to your left you can see a wooden sign which says Travel Companions, which is a small stable with a couple of horses and ponies inside it, as well as outside a couple of carts just standing there at the ready to be sold to the highest bidder. Where would you like to go?
What would you say, Kokol? Go for the Beast of Burden first, or
I do not think Faya Laura is here yet, yes? Said 3 days.
Yeah. How about we go to the orchard? We give out a call that we are here, so that when Philora is here, she knows that we can meet, and then find a travel companion.
Yes.
What do you think, Melo? And I give Melo a rub.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow. All right, so for the sake of this, you guys just want to buy a cart. Is that just what you're gonna do?
And we need a beast to pull it.
Very well. So with that, let me just. There we go.
Now let's just hope that Allison doesn't eat the beast of burden as well.
So a pack animal, so just a horse to pull said carriage by, will run you 2 gold pieces. And I'm not sure where a actual cart would be located.
I was already thinking like, I was already looking up our money, because I thought it was going to be way expensive. But 2 gold pieces for a horse.
A cart is 3 gold.
3 gold, nice. All right, so 5 gold pieces total for a nice little cart with horse-drawn carriage will be yours.
That sounds really like.
Well, like 5 gold pieces. 5 gold pieces is like
500
euros. That would be 500 euros. Like
yeah,
one gold piece
way
is about...
too little. A horse is like an expensive thing for noble people and stuff. You know, I say we don't get a horse, but we get a mule.
Well, yeah, it says pack animal.
Yeah,
like a riding horse. A riding horse will run you 8 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's also not that bad.
No.
But yeah, let's make it a mule. I like that.
Yeah, you want a mule?
Like a bigger donkey, you know?
Bigger donkey.
Yeah, so, I can go for mule.
Very well. So is it also called Big Donk, or what do you want to call it?
Oh, Kirkle, what are we gonna call our mule?
He looks over at the mule. Let it earn a name. Once it has proven part of the pack.
The mule raises one eyebrow.
In the next chapter, we're gonna have Thomas, the Soul Breaker.
Korloff, the Destroyer of Worlds.
Oh yeah, he's gonna totally save us by kicking the devil in the back.
Yeah. So, our pack members step outside of Traveling Companions with a new, to-be-named mule and a cart that it is dragging along. So this is just a simple cart, I think. Like, if you guys would want, you can buy like a whole horse-drawn carriage. Like,
yeah, let's do.
If you guys want to be a little bigger than that, because you said like this is like.
How much would that cost?
Like, where do you know where?
I just do it on PF2 Easy Tools. A carriage is 100 gold pieces.
Ooh, that's more expensive.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And a carriage is also pulled by 2 large creatures.
So
yeah,
we-
like horses and mules, they count as large creatures. So
Yeah.
So we'd need another mule. I mean, honestly, I'm fine with this expense. For practicality purposes, it'll speed up our travel process by so much
Yeah.
if there are roads. And it's going to be so much fun to actually tie up the mules every time we go into combat. But yeah, I think just going all out, splooging some gold all
Yeah.
over this. But
You guys
I don't know
wanna-
what we have.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. The pack is finally upgrading. No longer shall they travel by mere fall of foot. They will be carried by horse-drawn carriages. Very well. All right, so horse-drawn carriages with 100 gold pieces, you said, Allison.
Yeah.
Then with 2 mules, that brings the total to 104.
Yeah.
So you can scratch those off, as you are now the very proud owners of your own home on wheels. There you go.
So as we kind of do the purchase, Grakal looks at the stable owner and says, "We can pay, but I can also fight your strongest warrior for this.
No, money is good.
Then he leans in, maybe little less. Yes?
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
That's not very high. That's a 7 plus 16, 23.
23. You were the dragonborn fella who terrorized this town, weren't you? Tell you what. Let's make it an even 100. Let's just take the 2 mules.
Grakal is actually saving us money. Thank you very much.
You have taught him well.
Sure.
Yeah, I propose that we call one Deathbringer because he is carrying Allison and Allison is undead, and the other we just call Herman. It's Deathbringer and Herman.
Grakal taps the man's shoulder. Good man. And walks away.
With your tap, you almost dislocate said shoulder, but he survives. All right. So with your new horse-drawn carriage, mule-drawn carriage.
Oh, we are gonna arrive back at the tent like pimps riding in our carriage.
This will be a question though. Like, do you still want mules, or do you want the carriage to be drawn by 2 riding horses? Which basically means that you could also like take one of the horses out for a spin for like scouting things when you're setting up camp and that sort of stuff.
That is really smart, and
Like-
I'm kind of ashamed we didn't think of this.
Yeah, so
I
my
was
microphone
married to the idea of mules, to be honest.
my microphone just went off. I was gonna say this. There on the carriage, there's a different DC as well, depending on what kind of animal it pulls to be able to traverse it with
Oh
it.
wait, I understand. The carriages and stuff, they were in the new book.
Advanced, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So they don't sell war horses or war ponies. They only have like normal riding horses here because this is just a normal small town. But you can buy 2 riding horses.
How much would that cost?
We'll say with the intimidation bargaining, that'll run you 10 gold pieces instead of the 16 that it would normally. So 110 gold pieces with 2 riding horses, or just 100 gold pieces with like just enough force to pull it along, but that's about it.
Yeah, let's make it the riding horses. Bam, bam, bam.
Cool.
Which also makes the creatures level 2, which means that they can actually take a punch before they outright die, which might also be a nice thing.
This is gonna be the 3rd time that I have to write down how much money we have left.
So I'm gonna need you for next session, Wouter. I'm
Mhm.
gonna need you to now do make us a map of like the geographical spread of horse breeds throughout your continent, your homebrew world. And
Sorry, A spread of what?
Relay to us specifically what kind of breed this is, and also explain why.
Well, I got that right here for you.
I've seen those horses before.
Yeah, they fuck a lot. So, with your new, like the mules look like this, but the horses they look like this. Like, I have skill. I can actually be of use to somebody. You spend a couple of gold coins for that, and you are now a riding horse-drawn carriage. Very nice.
As we drive away from travel companions, I look back at the mules and I whisper to myself, "Goodbye, Herman."
Like one of the mules still chewing on a little bit of straw, like his mane hanging a little bit over his eyes. You can see one tear drawn from one of the eyes. If he could speak, he would say, "So long, Iroh, till we meet again."
Oh no.
So,
Broken.
with your newly purchased addition to your traveling equipment, what's up next?
I think that Gurkal, are we going back to the tent already, or should we do something else in Bromhilde at the moment?
I cannot think of anything to do, but
And I think
I do want to. Gurkal does want to find something or someone to fight. We can wait in tavern until Vialora are here. Then maybe find new quest for us quickly.
well, we do have a quest. I think we were heading to. Let me have a quick look.
The Archwoods.
The Archwoods, indeed.
Still, let
Yeah.
us then be quick.
And Iroh, you also have a location within the Archwood that you might want to visit eventually.
Yeah. I am looking back into my notes where I wrote it down, but I do have a certain location that I want to.
I think it was
go to.
Riverclear.
I think so. Let me have
So the portal to the Shadowfell's in this town, and we're going into it and then to the Archwood.
Well, that's your choice. Like I don't know what you guys want to do.
Is
Yeah.
there a difference in travel speed between the planes?
Not that you know of.
But we don't know if there's a portal in the Archwood, right? Do we?
No, you do not.
Nope.
So if we want to get to the Archwood in the Shadowfell, we're going to have to enter the portal here. I mean, it's the only way we know of.
Like there are basically two possibilities, or you turn it into you go into the portal right here in this village and travel through the Shadowfell towards the Court of Shadows there, or you travel via the material plane and then try to find a portal over there. Material plane, like in general, is going to be a lot easier on all of you and a little bit safer, but then you have to find a portal over there. You can also just try to make your way over there.
Yeah,
like
but
in the Shadowfell.
this
We'll
portal
say-
is a pretty big deal, right? So I feel like it's very weird. I feel like it's a bad assumption to think, oh, we'll run across a portal there.
Well, yeah. It's
Right?
gonna be difficult. Yeah.
In that
don't
case-
feel like that's I don't feel like going all the way there, then coming back.
I'm just laying down your options.
Yeah, I know.
What I find is a good or bad idea. It's your job to decide what you guys want to do.
That's fair. No, I'm just weighing it up and speaking it out to see if I'm not being crazy here.
No.
Or just not
Sounds-
paying attention. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna wait in the tavern. Or we can go back to camp. Recall is fine with either.
I
Alright,
think
so-
we can go into the tavern for a bit, and after that, if Phylora doesn't show up yet, go back to the tent to show off our carriage.
Allison can't do anything in the meantime, so you guys can make your call.
So Gurkal says to Malo as they approach the tavern,
Mm-hmm.
Malo, strong warrior, These will be your brethren. Grakal looks downwards. Brother and sister. But must protect them now. You stay here, outside. Roar if you need, Grakal. Yes?
Melo walks up to like the heads of the horses, and the two horse heads go down in a little bit of a curious like gaze. And Melo walks up, sniffs one of them a little bit, and then licks the nose. And then porches himself like poof, between the two horses, like laying down, and you can see like the tail just whapping a little bit, but you can see that his eyes are still very much aware of all of his surroundings.
Grakal looks around a bit and smiles. He's seen Melo do a certain thing before, which is he likes to get on top of things. So and lie there. So Grakal looks at him. Do you want me to put you on the cart?
Melo looks at you, puts up his head, a little bit insulted, and then walks out of between the legs of the horses, wiggles its butt as only a cat does before he jumps, and then pounces on top of the cart itself and lays there on a nice little vantage point.
Roar if you need us, brother. Alright, so Grakal and Ira go inside to have ourselves some chill time, you know?
Very well. Then, as you enter the large double wooden doors, the orchard itself, there are actual apple trees outside. Like, they seem to be quote-unquote in use. Like, they are healthy and they seem to be enough to also grow some apples from. But they're mostly there for as a decoration of sorts. As the inn itself is like turned around the small orchard. So it's like a very elongated tavern with like two sides and then a one side at the back. There you turn into the double doors and you can see that you are right now on the only floor. There's only one floor, but there is a main foyer, if you will, with different tables where patrons are having drink and food alike, and then two doors, one to the left side and one to the right side, to two blocks with different rooms to be stayed in, with a medium-sized tavern at the back, where right now two individuals are making sure that everybody is attended for. On one hand, you can see a human woman with her dark blonde hair in a ponytail, grease marks across her face, with a apron on and bound behind her back, with simple clothing underneath it. It seems that she is working hard and heavy as she gets another plate from outside of the kitchen and turns it towards a table. As you can see, well, not really see, another individual on the other side of the bar, as he is a little bit too small to just, well, pop up out of the bar. But eventually, as some other patrons walk towards it and order, you can see a small little halfling porch up. And you can see that, well, he's a sight to behold, as he has a large blonde mohawk on his head, as he, with a large grin, gets the order, jumps down, and from a large barrel of mead begins to make sure that the patrons are not thirsty in here. And as those patrons leave his immediate vicinity, he then gazes towards you and says, "Welcome, gentlemen, to the orchard. Can I offer you a beautiful apple cider that we are known for? Or perhaps you do seem like weary travelers. A room, perhaps? Maybe both?"
Apple cider, most definitely. A room, not yet. We are still having a quick look.
Great.
What is your biggest glass?
I can pour you a pitcher, just for you if you like.
2 pitchers, please.
2 pitchers. And what will he have? I'll get you those pitchers. So he jumps off of his stool to now not being able to be seen again, but he still talks from the other side of the door. So, you guys don't seem from around here. What brings you to Bromilia?
Is apple cider good? Grakal
Yeah,
asks Iro, completely
most
ignoring
definitely.
the question.
And Iro just casually answers, "Yeah, we are probably just stopping by on our way to the Shadowfell."
He jumps up. Oh dear. A pass to that evil place, have you? Well, good luck to you then. And with that, he turns the handles of the 2 pitchers towards you and hands you those. That'll be 2 silver, please.
I give.
Or are we opening a tab? Don't know how long you
Uh,
want to be staying here with some good food before you head into the Shadowfell.
Grakal, are you hungry?
Grakal kind of looks down and looks up. Yes, but we have cart now.
Yeah.
Grakal has good idea. We shall have 4 meals. And he looks down. A chicken. We wish to take it with us.
I'll make us 5 meals.
I don't sell live chickens, though.
Then just the 5 meals, and we'll find the live chickens somewhere else.
Well, as long as you don't find them in my backyard, I'm okay with that. But, where do you want to find live? You know what? I'll get you some nice bundled up food. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Any peculiars? You don't seem like the picky types to me, but
Much meat for Grakal.
much meat. That'll
No
cost you extra.
green.
As he jumps down. And eventually you guys are left to your own devices for but a minute or 2, 3 before he gets back up. As he says to 2 other barmaids that follow him. Eve May, just put them right there for our patrons. As 3 large dishes are just pushed in front of you on the bar table. And you can see that they are presented on, not like plates and that sort of stuff, but just simple woodwork, if you will. So, if you want to take that outside, you may. It's all yours for the price of... Together with the 2 cider, that makes 7 silver, please.
Great. I give 7 silver.
Great. Enjoy your meals. I will need to have those pitchers back, though, so...
Oh,
yeah.
we will enjoy the pitches here and take the food with us afterwards.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the idea of a wholesome meal, and I'm thinking we can take care of the chicken later because Allison is going to be stuck in the coffin anyway for a while. So we're going to make everyone happy except Zal. I'm joking. Even Zal. Although I'm suspiciously as I give him food.
And even Melo. I asked the 5th meal is a bit for Melo.
Oh, fair enough. I thought it was going to be for you as well.
All right, so as you guys leave this establishment and make your way back to your tent, you leave the homely noises of the township behind you and venture backward towards the more nature-abound visage.
When we arrive back at the tent, Grakal is probably riding the carriage. Iro is riding on top of one of the horses.
Hannah, you and Zell are just sitting there, minding your own business. Zell uttering a couple of prayers to his god, you doing whatever the hell you want while you rest. As eventually, along the path, you hear the footfalls of hooves. Afraid that it might be some intruder, you peek outward, and there you see this horse-drawn carriage with, on top of it, a quispling Melo. Inside it, Grakal and Iro, and coming from it, a beautiful aroma from different types of cooked meats, fresh bread, vegetables.
I imagine
Nice.
Gricol isn't actually in the carriage. He's on the front, holding the
Oh yeah,
reins.
sorry, that's what I meant. Like on.
But just very uncomfortable. Like the bench is made for normal humanoid without a giant tail, and he seems to be very uncomfortable as he's pulling this. We're gonna have to make some adjustments here.
Stepping outside of the tent with his fire staff, now you can once again see that he, as I'm talking about Zel, he steps outside and he looks with squinted eyes at the actual sun, being able to walk in the sunlight, and he steps forward as well.
We have food. Let us rest.
And we have empty stomachs.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All
Yeah.
right. And then, as the pack is having their meal in a somewhat weird fashion, as you guys all sometimes look back inside the tent to see this root and vine covered coffin with on the top of it this one leaf, making it Allison's final resting place.
Yeah.
So Allison
Nice.
is curious. Right now, during his rest, he will attempt to see if his counterpart is okay after the ritual.
All right. So, as your friends are having a hearty meal at the point where the sun is high up in the sky and you are mid your resting period during the day in your new vampiric form, you somehow feel the urge to cross your arms while you're asleep. Don't really know why. And you use your magical connection to your counterpart. Still not really sure how this connection has been established, to reach out and see this other soul that has been intertwined with yours. And as you do so, you once again reach out in the darkness, seeing your blue flame in the distance. The flame that engulfing you gives you, yourself, your own being, a stark outline, a solid form in this dreamscape, if you will. And as you walk forward, this small blue flame eventually opens up into a portal, where this time around, you do not see out of the eyes of the other person. This time, you look out through the portal as the portal eventually vanishes, and there you are standing in this same weird, vacant dreamscape with your other person. So this is happening in my dreams now, as she turns towards you with her long, dirty blonde ponytail. Even in her dream form, she still resembles the same pirate captain with her long red coat, white blouse, scimitars at her side,
Well,
as your counterpart looks to you.
apparently this is what happens when you're actually asleep. That's interesting. I won't take long of your rest. I was just wondering if you were okay.
I was wondering
Yes.
the same thing.
Did you feel anything?
Yeah, for a moment. As she begins to walk around you in this dreamscape, looking you over from top to bottom, seeing this new pale skin, pointed teeth, weird eyes. Now, no longer with the moons inside them. I felt something, all right. I still feel weird, I guess.
Does
But
she
for-
still carry the crescents in her eyes?
Nope, she does
No?
not. But it seems that whatever happened, it worked, right? I mean, like you told me those crescent things meant we were dying. We don't have them anymore. Or does this mean that, did you die?
I Let's say I'm in purgatory right now. I
Wait, are
am
you-
neither living nor dead.
Are you dead? Like, did you die? Wait, where's purgatory?
I received a ritual that made me a vampire. So I'm an undead officially.
Huh. With like the blood drinking and all that stuff.
It's not as bad as you think, or worse, depends on who's asking.
No. Met a guy once whose fetish it was. Weird as fuck.
It's not mine, still, I suppose.
Well, guess you could get used to it.
But
So
yeah,
what now?
right now, we will continue on our search to see how we can fix our issue. I did this as a temporary fix. I did not want us to both die just on a random moment when the gods desired so. So now I created some more time.
I thank you for your sacrifice, man, but Jesus. Did you really have to go this far?
I did not know any other option. And this happened to wander on my path.
Well, whatever it is that binds us, I think we both know that if we want to fix this, we can't do it on our own. You know where to find me, for now at least, but I will be on my way soon.
Have you had the opportunity to talk to your hag yet?
Not yet. Not yet. She's a elusive little figure.
Figures.
But in the meantime, you bought us time, right? So that's
I did.
okay.
All right. Well, it's good to see that whatever I did at least helped.
Just make your way to shore. Let's meet up eventually, and we can figure this out. But until then, this is a good like checkpoint, I guess.
I believe it is.
All right. You
Try
you go be a vampire.
and you try and see if this connection that we have is also something you can enhance yourself with.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure if we could use
I'm not going to be
this.
a vampire though.
No, you don't have to. I hope. I fixed that for you. I am, so you don't have to be.
Like
And I smirk a
I
little
like
bit.
sunlight.
Oh, I do too. But
Not anymore.
maybe we.
Or is this just? Is it true? Like, or is it just like a rumor or something?
What is the sunlight?
Yeah.
Shamefully, it's true.
Fuck.
But
Bummer.
I also met options to remove that difficulty. Things are
You
difficult.
are a weird person.
Yes, thanks.
Look. Just good luck with whatever you're doing. I have no idea how you turned into a vampire, but I guess it all worked out. Once again, if your journeys get you to the shore, follow my crimson flag, and who knows?
Will do.
All right.
Hi, good night. I'll leave you alone
All right.
in whatever this dream space is.
I have no idea. Is this like a lucid dream? I'm gonna find out. And she just walks away and begins to, like, search this own dream council of hers. And as the rest of the party members are eating a hearty meal, and Allison is having his first long rest as a vampire in his coffin, connecting with his other half, we'll go and end tonight's session.
Sorry, guys, that you had to pee.
Goodbye.
There happened so much stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
So many things.
it did.
So yeah,
Can I say that I'm actually, vampire stuff aside, I'm just really excited that we have a horses and
Oh hell
carriage.
yeah! Oh yeah. I didn't want to like pipe up, but with all the traveling that we've been doing, I've been holding in the urge to say like, there are means to getting around more often, like more easily.
Yeah.
But now you finally have a little bit more traveling speed on your hands. So who knows?
It's gonna be great. Hannah's gonna have 2 more animals to try to befriend.
Let's stall a little bit more, so
Just
Crystal cannot go
talk to
to the
them.
toilet.
Let's see if they're poisonous too.
Poisonous
Why?
horses. What the hell?
We are never gonna forget those.
For now, at least, Allison, you to balance things out. For your vampirism, we are going to give you a couple of the boons, but not all of them. Like the increases in AC and damage and all that sort of stuff, we are going to skip that because that's just like a hard increase, and that would like make things a little bit unbalanced. But you are going to have like all the nice things. So you are going to have like the fast healing and decreased HP, and I think we're going to give you the resistance eventually as well. But for now, at least, we can basically say that we skip the points up front. That's something that Max will understand. And then just get all the basic vampire abilities and that's basically it. Yeah.
We'll have another look at it as well to just finalize everything.
But
We'll be fine.
Yeah. For now, at least, thank you all so much for watching these shenanigans. Next episode, our heroes will have a horse-drawn carriage, have a vampire, and have a devil hunting them.
And you let slip a spoiler earlier this session. You said next session you're going to be a level higher.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's true. Also, you guys are going level up.
Don't think I forget things.
No. Fair enough. So you guys will also level up. So next week we will be level 8.
Nice.
It's going to be nice.
Nice.
So yeah.
Great.
More adventures as the pack continues their travels towards the Court of Shadows. For now, at least, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked what you saw and enjoyed all this ridiculousness. There will be more.
Nobody tell Crystal.
Nobody can. Know that we also have social media where we keep you up to date on all our shenanigans, and I also share our beautiful stat blocks of all the different things that comes the way of the party. We also stream our own video game nonsense on Friday, but the main thing will always be this beautiful campaign on each Sunday. So, we hope to see you then. For now, enjoy the last hour of your weekend. Remember, we love you. Don't get bit by a vampire.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.